Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about NIO. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investing journey together. So today we're going to be doing a video about NIO, and NIO actually just did report their Q1 earnings for 2022. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in and explain what we have as far as, their overall earnings report, kind of the guidance they put out. Is NIO stock a good buy? $19.44. And most importantly, what to take away from NIO's earnings report. Now, I just want everybody to know that everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It is just for my personal opinion and for educational purposes only. So with that being said, let's get started with the video. So taking a look at the EPS, they beat their EPS earnings per share by 25.59% and a revenue beat of 0.56%, right? So overall, they did beat Wall Street expectations on their overall earnings, which is pretty good. Now, a lot of people are like, cool, so they beat their earnings per share and, they also beat their revenue. So why is the stock down 4.47%? It's actually made a little bit of a recovery. It actually was down closer to 9% in the pre-market, but we take a look at it because the reason why NIO stock dropped was because it was kind of like a downbeat outlook and a huge drop in gross margin. Now, this was expected. I want people to understand this, that they failed to kind of higher the prices of their vehicles kind of after Li Auto and XPeng and a lot of other EV makers did not hire, or they all raised their prices while NIO maintained their price range for a little bit before shortly after raising it, realizing that costs of manufactured goods were becoming a little bit too expensive. Now, diving in, we do know that they unveiled their new SUV. We're getting the ET7 sedan at the end of the year, which is great. So like I said, the overall thing was their overall guidance was not that good, expecting between 11 and 13,000 deliveries in the month of June, which is pretty good. But we have to remember, guys, that in April and May, their deliveries were not that good. We know in April they had super low deliveries, and in May, because basically Shanghai was shut down because of COVID, so it did hinder their overall production. Now, like I said, this was expected. So overall, I was happy with their overall earnings report. It shows that NIO is still growing. Like I said, it still shows that they're expanding. I was not really too happy with their overall guidance and kind of like how they're more navigating the situation when it comes to the overall chip shortage and how they were handling COVID and stuff like that. I do expect their Q2 report, kind of to be reported later this year. I don't think it's going to be that good because it's definitely going to include April and May deliveries along with June, which I think June is going to be a pretty good month as far as deliveries go. But taking a look at it from the bigger perspective, their overall earnings report was not too bad. Like I said, I definitely wanted a little bit more of upbeat guidance, but that's okay. I mean, it's not really much that they could do. It's kind of out of their control, but I do expect NIO within the next coming months, June, July, August, September, and October, for their deliveries to increase significantly and substantially, as we do know that they're dropping new vehicles. And, there was a little bit of a news report that some parts of Shanghai are going back into lockdown. So I'm hoping that it does not hinder NIO once again, but I am still expecting a lot more upward momentum for the stock from here on out. I still do think that NIO is a great buy at $19.67. I've been dollar cost averaging into this stock for a very long time. I've been buying it. I bought it on the way up when it was $12 back in 2020, and I still have been dollar cost averaging on the way down because the company is growing very, very quick. EV is definitely going to be the future. Nothing has hindered NIO's expansion plans as they still continue to expand. They still continue to grow. They're dropping new vehicles, and NIO Park is still in the works so they can better push up their overall manufacturing capacity. So I'm not really too worried about how NIO is going to perform in the long-term future more than it is in the short term. There is a lot of short-term comings when it comes to this overall underlying stock. I want people to understand that if you're invested in NIO, guys, it is for the long haul because NIO still does have a long way to go with expected profitability kind of coming closer to 2024 and break even in 2024 as well. I do expect 2023 to hopefully be a better year, but I still do expect at least a 100% move from current NIO stock price. As you guys have seen my previous videos on my overall NIO stock price prediction, I still do think NIO stock overall is still going to have an uptrend from here. I still do think that NIO stock is going to end the year around the $40 to $50 mark as macroeconomic factors continue to ease, as NIO Park finally finishes with the drop of the ET7 sedan, and their overall deliveries start to increase a little bit more. But like I said, as far as their overall earnings, their earnings were pretty good. Like I said, they had a year-over-year increase in revenue. They beat expected earnings per share by 25%, and they beat revenue by 0.56%. Yes, it's little, but it's still a beat. So overall, the company is well positioned. It's still doing well. I haven't lost faith in NIO, and I'm going to keep buying the dips. But like I said, NIO stock generally does have a history of falling after earnings, even if they post good earnings. So I kind of expected the stock to have a little bit of a pullback, which I'm perfectly okay with. I'm kind of more worried about, CPI numbers and the FOMC meeting next week, and see how that's going to play into the short-term volatility of NIO stock. But with that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. You guys let me know down in the comments below, guys, what you think of NIO's earnings. Did you guys think NIO had a pretty good earnings report? If you guys own NIO stock, how many shares do you guys own, and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.